Well, hi there, and thanks for tuning in to your Wheel and Anchor weekly newsletter for this chilly day in the beginning of December. I'm obviously back in Toronto, my hometown, and while it's certainly nice to see family and friends, at the same time, personally, I'm not relishing this miserable weather, but I guess if you're here for a while, you get used to it. That's why it's a good time to think about traveling and getting away. I've got a little rant this week. Obviously, the headlines need no introduction as it relates to the Omicron virus and travel restrictions popping up all over the place. And of course, whenever that happens, our phones ring off the hook and people wonder what's going to happen and how does it affect our travel plans? Are we going to run the trip? And it's challenging for us, to say the least, because as I've said in previous newsletters, we don't really have a crystal ball. We have no way to anticipate what's going to happen next. And it's frustrating because I think that while we certainly need to stay alert and aware of what's going on as this pandemic continues to progress, I think that the media have done quite a good job, if you will, of instilling a lot of fear and unnecessary panic in situations where it's not really clear where this is actually headed. And if you think back to the beginning of it, when they determined what the COVID-19 is, what the coronavirus, where it stems from, being similar to other coronaviruses like the flu that comes every year, they said it's going to mutate. We're going to have variations. This is not going to be something that is static, and that's why they have to develop vaccines all the time and constantly change how we're going to deal with it. And so exactly that has happened, and yet our media jumps to all the conclusions about what might happen and how it's going to plunge us all into other lockdowns and so on and so forth. And yet, so far, that hasn't been the case. And certainly we hope so. And we're going to rely on our scientists and all those in the community that have done such a great job of determining, how to deal with this situation. But, for us as travelers, it's frustrating because, we're ready to get out there and see the world again. And I think from my perspective, we shouldn't change our plans. We shouldn't rush to change our plans. Of course, if a situation arises that it's going to be impossible for us to travel or too risky to travel, then of course we're going to manage it at that time. And, we'll make the decisions that are necessary, and we'll do everything we can in the interest of our guests. But to necessarily go and change your plans for something that's going to happen 3, 4, 5 months down the road, when we're still at the very beginning of this situation, is, I would say, perhaps a bit premature. This wave that appears to be coming is going to come, and it's going to go, as all of the other ones have. And so I would suggest exercising a degree of discretion and reading between the lines, if you will, before reacting to how, what the media is saying, what the headlines are saying, because, it's not really doing any of us any good. So at the same time, as I say, we are constantly vigilant here at Wheel and Anchor. We are acting in the best interest of our clients. And I want to give you a small anecdote. I got a lovely message the other day from a couple who was booked on one of our upcoming trips in the not too distant future. And they unfortunately had to cancel, not related to COVID, but for some other unfortunate circumstances. And they were at the point where the deposit was actually no longer refundable. But nevertheless, I said to them, I said, listen, we're going to give you all the money that we can back, and we'll give you a credit for the rest, for the part that we don't actually have in our account anymore, because we had to pay it to our partners overseas. And they were truly taken aback, and they even suggested that they would give us part of the money for all of the trouble that we'd done. And we instead said, no, we're not here to take your money. We're here to exchange it for incredible travel experiences. That's what we're all about. That's what I've been doing for 30 years in this business. And so I'm going to continue to maintain that philosophy and hold out hope that we're going to be able to do some great trips in the next months, and just let you know that I'm looking out for you. That's That's why I'm doing this. So that's my rant for this week. Do join us though this coming week on Thursday, the 16th of December, as we have our trip outlook and travel outlook webinar for the first half of 2022. We're going to delve in a little bit deeper into the whole COVID-19 situation, and we're going to prognosticate, because that's about all we can do, about what's going to happen, how that's going to affect travels with us or other travels that you may be undertaking. So please do tune in for that this Thursday at 11 o'clock. And in the meantime, stay warm. I'm doing my best, and I look forward to catching up with you all very soon, latest at the webinar next week or in our newsletter 1 week from today.